Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Experience Kills. I am your host Ben, and with me today to dive deep into another sort of aquatic wet game is Richard.
Oh, he's bringing out the puns, diving deep in wetness. That's what I'm about anyway, so lucky I'm here, innit?
Oh, gross. But true. Today we're going to be looking at the console version of Megaquarium by Auroch Digital. This is just about to come out, or at the time you listen to this, just come out on Xbox One. It's coming to PS4 and Nintendo Switch as well. And this is a port of a PC game that's been available for a little while now. Came out this year. And yeah, you know what? It's really pleasant, Rich. But also, what I've learned recently is that Richard doesn't really understand what a tycoon game is, or like a city management game, or any of those types of kind of colony manager games. And these all sort of fall in the same kind of mold here, because they're not games that would have typically come to console, but now they're actually finding their way across the platforms, which is really, really good, widening the audience. But Richard, you're completely alien to these.
Not completely. I mean, now, it's not fair to say I don't understand them. I'm just absolutely apathetic about them.
It's a whole genre you've kind of missed out on.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I dabbled with them in the 80s and 90s when, I don't know, I was a child and had more time, I guess. That's the key, isn't it? It's time. I like games with a definitive outcome rather than building something just to maintain. The thing that really killed me off of that ilk was, I suppose, Animal Crossing was the last time that I maintained. That's not even the same genre, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
A game that you just need to tend to all the time.
It's a game, I think what you're saying is it's a game without a strong story or narrative, isn't it? It's a game which is open-ended.
Yeah.
And that's, as you get older, more difficult to find that time to really pursue that and to really get into it. And I 100% agree with that, and there's no faulting that. And to be honest, it kind of goes against my sensibilities of a gamer now, where I love the stories and the narrative-driven experiences, but there's something about city builders and tycoon games and management games that I just fell in love with as a kid and will always be drawn to, even as an adult now, even though I know I don't have the time to really get into these experiences as deeply as I'd like to. I play absolutely all of them that come to console because I'm always fascinated to see how well they are brought across, because they can be sometimes really difficult due to the size of the game, the complexity of the controls, and things of that nature, that they don't always translate to a controller. And we looked recently at, a few of them. We've looked at Frostpunk, which comes to mind, which is an absolute exemplar of that genre on console. Well, this is a slightly different kind of game. Megaquarium isn't so much about managing a city, it's much more in that tycoon ilk of like a roller coaster tycoon or a theme park or something like that. And it's all about managing an aquarium, as you might have guessed from the title of the game. And you know what? It comes across to consoles really well. I mean, I had no particular issue with it because it's a game, again, to play very much at your own pace. It's very chill and relaxing. You're building tanks, you're putting fish into them, you're deciding on their feeding regimes, you're hiring people to look after the fish, you're hiring people to attract people to your aquarium and to manage the children's experiences and stuff in the place, and lots of design elements, and you know what, it's just really nice. And as often is the case with games like this, there is kind of a campaign mode which tasks you with going into existing aquariums and maybe fixing them up or renovating them, or you're developing them to a certain standard or achieving a certain level of success. Or there's as is often the case, a sandbox mode where you can just basically build in any way you want and try and build the biggest, bestest aquarium possible. And it's just nice. It's got a cartoony look to it. It's got some really nice fish and aquatic animals and life. Lots of options for customizing your aquariums. I don't know about you, Richard, but whenever I was dragged to a garden centre, I'd always want to go and look at the fish when I was a kid.
When you were a kid? Have you stopped doing it now?
No.
Because I still look at the fish.
It's kind of rare that I find myself in a garden centre, but yeah, when I do, I still want to go and look at the fish. It's still...
There comes a time later when you go back, because I have to take the in-laws to garden centres sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they want to get new garden furniture. I don't know, go out for a cream tea at a garden centre.
Brilliant.
That's a thing.
Yep.
And then I end up looking at fish then. So yeah, I'll still get the attraction of doing that stuff.
A garden centre is interminably dull to me because I can't stand gardening, but when I get dragged along, as the wife sometimes wishes to do, I will, the highlight is looking at the fish in the aquarium bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always the best. And like if you pop into town, go to, well, I can't remember what the major pet chain is called now. What's it called? Don't matter. So you pop in there and see all the fish in there. That's good fun. But in a game, I don't know. I don't know if I'd play that in a game unless there was. What are the fish like? Are they interesting to look at? Are they cute? Have they got personality? What do I want them for?
I mean, they look like fish. So they don't look cartoony. They're not sort of anthropomorphized in any way. They don't speak. It's not Finding Nemo. They just look like fish, and they're quite realistic in that. How they look. So they're colourful. There's lots of varieties to them. One of the big strategies in the game is working out which fish can be put in the same tank together so that they don't like murder each other. Or maybe you just want to put them in a tank together so they murder each other. That is an option. That's funny. I was going to ask you that specific question. Can they kill each other? So they can. That's good. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like a bloodbath, but the numbers will dwindle of certain species that do not do well with more aggressive carnivorous fish, say. And, But
do you get a spectator bump out of that?
Yeah, this is not like a game that's going to ever make anybody go, oh my god, I've got to play that, unless you're like training to work in an aquarium, perhaps. But no, it's still a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. So, Richard, tell me, is there anything you'd like to know about Megaquarium?
Really, when you're killing stuff, I want to know if it rewards you for doing that.
No, it doesn't. You psycho.
This is the hook. This is what I'm interested in. I found it. I'm not going to let it go. So if you kill stuff, do you get like? Is there any recognition from the crowd or anything, or any sort of audience appreciating what's going on in the tanks?
The baying crowds enjoy their blood sports. No, there is no fucking recognition, you psycho. Basically, if you kill off the fish, your customers aren't particularly happy because there's no fish to look at.
I thought they'd maybe see it as an event.
An event? Come to Sea Life, watch us murder all the sharks. Like, what? God. Let me just say this.
Here for a different perspective, and that's as different as you're going to get, mate.
Yeah. Let me just make it clear, though. If this is what's attracting you to Megaquarium, go somewhere else, because it's not going to be the game for you.
Fair enough. Okay, that's to ask.
Right, so let me just sum this up. Megaquarium, it's a pleasant game. It's a good management game. The port is pretty decent. The controls work well. Everything about this game is pleasant. From the visual style, to the UI design, to the music that's plinky plonky in the background as you play. There's plenty of ways of playing it in campaign mode. There's also a good old sandbox mode as well. There's very little that really makes this game stand out. There are better Tycoon games out there and better management games out there, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with this particular game. So it's pretty much straight down the middle. So if you're in the mood for a nice experience, one you could happily set your kids to play, or they can sit there and watch while you play, then Megaquarium will be perfect for you. Okay? No fish murder!
Okay. I'm not going to diss it for that. I mean, it does what it does. Just saying, it would have been nice.
So, that's another episode of Experience Kills. I've been your host, Ben, and with me, the mass-murdering crazy psychopath, Richard.
Don't count if it's fish.
I mean, I'm going to let Peter know and see what they think. Yeah? They won't be happy. If you'd like to find out more about Richard's weird fish murdering fetishes, you can follow him at Colonel Red. You can find me at DIYE on Twitter, and in general you can find Experience Kills at Experience Kills on Twitter. If you've watched this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel, and bear in mind that there are full audio versions of every review available from any good podcasting app. So until next time, and with hopefully a little bit less fish murder, I've been Ben. Bye-bye.
Bye.